Okay, just one last update so you know I didn't get killed on my nice motorcycle. It runs very good, and I just drove it back to the house. I have to go get my car. I parked my car in Calallen I wanted to ride the bike right away. I didn't realize, I knew it wasn't registered yet in my name, obviously, but I have the title, and it's clear title. He was a nice kid. But I realized I'm coming back. Traffic's very bad in Corpus, and so the only thing I had to get a little used to was you got to stop. You know, it's a little different stopping on a motorcycle and having the right amount of time. And a few times you have all those camera lights, on the stoplights, the cameras in Corpus, and a few times I gunned it because I realized I got to get used to stopping, but I didn't go past them. But sure enough, right when I was almost back, I heard a cop with lights beeping his horn behind me. So of course I pulled over in a Burger King parking lot. And he, of course, asked me for my license and all. And then as I looked, I said, "Look, brother, I just bought this motorcycle in Calallen," which is true. And I had the title with me for the motorcycle, the bill of, just the title to transfer. But I didn't have, he wanted to know, because I realized as I looked at the bike, walked around it, sitting there, it doesn't have a license plate on it at all. Of course, I'm going to have to register it in my name, which I will. But normally they have an old license plate, but I told him the truth. I said, "I just bought it. I've got to go back and get my car." And I'm sure it did look a little suspicious to him because it had no plate. And he asked me, where are you coming from? And I took it's not a side road, but the traffic's real bad on the main road, SPID, so I figured I'll go down Saratoga, but I had to hit SPID anyway. I told him, well, I came in on Saratoga because I didn't want to hit SPID. I haven't ridden a bike in many years. And so he kind of said, "But that's not the quickest route," which was correct. I said, "Look, brother," I said, "that's why." So I do have a motorcycle license, but I didn't realize there was no plate at all on that motorcycle, which is some reason to pull people over. So he checked everything. And they have to run your driver's license to make sure you're not, lying or all. So he couldn't completely verify my story, but he came back out and said, "Well, I'm going to believe you," which is true. Obviously, I wasn't lying. And he said, "Just make sure you get it, legal and all." And he happens to be he tells me he usually works in the Bluff. I don't know him particularly. He says, "I usually work in the Bluff, but he was in town today." I'm not sure which cop that was. He said, "So when you get back, make sure." So that was good. It worked out like that. And that's it. I won't be able to post any text until later. I still got to go get my car. I figured I'd do this last one for today. Some of the verses were worth me making some comments on. And I'll try to add a few of those. There's many scriptures I could quote. I got them all over here. But these little rollouts, as you see it, the way I do them, tomorrow I'll have a regular teaching video. Any particular lessons, I'm just thinking right now. Anything with motorcycles. This is a little Christian plaque I picked up at Rock City. They got like a little thing. What is it? Can you read it? It says something on it. Wisdom comes from the journey, not from the destination. Okay? So I guess that would fit. It's on the road of life. When you begin, like I think I said on the last video, when you start moving forward, and I haven't ridden on the street in a long time. I ride those four-wheelers. But when you're on the road, it reminded me of, all the years I rode a motorcycle. And it feels different because you're out. You're not, sometimes people that go through all types of things, you also have claustrophobia. That's like part of when you have maybe physical and problems, mental problems. So on the bike, you don't feel any of that. You're just, everything is open. And so that's a part of us. We want to be out. That's a part of inside of people, okay? There's as life gets nearer to an end here, you begin wanting, because it's the heart of man that's for the spirit to be free and to go to be with the Creator. There's some good verses about that, and so let's encourage you with that. Wisdom, it doesn't come from always trying to have a particular, I'll get a destination in my life, and once I get there, people think that way, financially or whatever, and then I'll finally, actually, the journey is it. That's what it's about, okay? That's what it's about.